You know, Mario fans can debate this, Sonic fans can debate that, but no one's asking the real questions. Which one has the better glove texture? Where's all my Mario and Sonic fans at? Us fans that love both franchises, because we have it so easy right now. We are eating the Last Supper, and it just never ends. Well, I guess that defeats the point of it being the last, so anyway. What a time to be a Mario and Sonic fan, having back-to-back game releases only 3 days apart? Like, what? The last time something this close happened, I think, was with Mario Odyssey and Sonic Forces being like a week or so away. Those were full-blown 3D installments in each franchise, and now here we are again with brand new and creative 2D platformers for each series, Super Mario Bros. Wonder and Sonic Superstars. Again, 3 days apart! And I'm still working my part-time job and going to university, so, I haven't gotten any sleep. But hey, what do you know, us Sonic fans apparently can't stay happy even while we're winning. Because, would you believe it if I told you that people have immediately deemed Superstars to fail from the beginning? I mean, yeah, it did come out the same week as Mario Wonder and Spider-Man 2, but honestly, we really shouldn't be surprised at this point. Of course, debates between Mario Wonder and Sonic Superstars were gonna be happening simply from both being 2D platformers that come out in the same week. Of course, those waters will be tense. To be honest, I didn't see too many debates as I would have expected when both games were announced over the summer. Probably because I was not actively checking Twitter daily and, you know, was actually happy with life. But of course, recently I have seen more arguments here and there that, oh, Sonic Superstars can't compare to Mario Wonder, or how boring Superstars looks compared to Wonder. And, dude, I just don't give a shit. Like, that's probably the most based thing I've ever said. And you know what? I'll take my crown. Yeah, sure, king shit. Like, you know who you're talking to, right? I'm part of the Sonic community. Like, there's just too many pointless debates on Twitter nowadays that I really couldn't care about most of them. Sure, I have my own opinion on it, and you're entitled to yours, and I'll respect it like a good person. But with that being said, the debate between Mario Wonder and Sonic Superstars is extremely pointless, and that's simply because both games are great. Both of these games are fun for different reasons, and I can accept that. I was thinking about gushing over each game in their own individual respective video, but I actually used my brain for once, you know, that thing up in there, and decided to talk about both of them here. Are you proud of me? Let's start with Sonic Superstars first, and I won't lie, it's partially because I do have a lot more to talk about concerning Mario Wonder than Sonic Superstars, but that statement doesn't debunk Superstars at all. Generally speaking, Mario Wonder does have more content than Superstars, and guys, that's fine. Like, yeah, shocking statement, I like Mario Wonder more than Sonic Superstars, but saying that doesn't mean that either of them are bad. They're both good games that I liked both of. I knew what I was expecting out of both games. Like, I knew that Superstars would be kind of in the same vein as classic games, like, you know, 1 through Mania. It's short and replayable for the sake of being, you know, short and replayable to find the Chaos Emeralds and get the true ending. Like, I know what I was expecting. I'm a mega fan of both franchises here. Because, long story short, I'm not comparing these games. Sorry, I'm just an equal opportunity enjoyer of both. And I know I'm not in the wrong because both games got nominated for the Best Family Game for the Game Awards. Oh, Sonic fans should be so disappointed seeing a game like Superstars next to Mario Wonder and Pikmin 4. Sir... Oh wait, no, sorry, that's way too polite. Dumbass, are you good? I'm sorry, okay, I'm not trying to hate. I'm making myself laugh. Things get nominated for a reason, they're recognized for a reason, and Superstars did so well, all things regardless, so... Simply put, both games are fun. Oh, and by the way, I am going to be showing spoilers of each game, which will include endgame content, so just a heads up. In Sonic Superstars' case, it's simple, fun, classic Sonic gameplay that we all know and love. I will say this now, my skill isn't as good in classic Sonic games in comparison to the 3D games, but I still know how to have fun with them. I will say, I'm glad that one of the first things that they made sure to do was getting the physics right for Superstars, and it shows. It's the traditional classic Sonic momentum, and it's as fun as always to try and keep your speed, trying to react in time to create an optimized route, but of course there are things unique to Superstars that shake things up to make it a modern day 2D platformer. first things foremost, all entirely new zones. Most of them follow the standard classic Sonic tropes like an island area, jungle area, water area, base area, you get the point. All original zones is one leg that this game does have over Mania, so I guess that's a point. All in all, I really like the lineup of zones that we have in this game. There's a good amount of noteworthy gimmicks and set pieces in each zone. Some gimmicks returning like these water slides in Lagoon City or the spinning spheres from Sonic 3's bonus stages, but of course there are original gimmicks as well, like these ramp sections or grinding in the jungle, switching between the foreground and the background, or the entirety of Cyber Station Zone, which probably is the best zone in the game. I think we can all agree on that. I mean, I forced Sonic to fight a giant Mecha Sonic, and I'm sure he's not mad at me about that. And second thing second, the new gimmick that is tied to this game specifically are the Emerald powers. Now you may look at this and immediately say something like, oh my god, another gimmick just like the Wisps. And to that, I'd actually say you're wrong. Not only are the new special stages really fun in this game, but I would say that the Emerald powers are infinitely better than the Wisps. And this is me as a Colors fan and a fan of the Wisps, but these are far superior for a couple reasons. Personally, I think that the Emerald powers are utilized in way more unique ways for finding secret paths, faster routes, and of course secret coins. But the kicker for me is that these powers are accessible at any given point once you obtain it, which can then be used as you please and then refreshed every time you pass by a signpost. The game will of course indicate when you're in an area that will benefit to using a specific power, to which you can immediately activate it, but using the powers for your own gain makes so much sense for this type of game. Not only is it in a convenient wheel that's easy to access, but each power works fluidly and doesn't break up the pace of the game, and it can be used as an incredible advantage. Like, I just learned that you can't get squished when in water form. That's so clever, and I'm an idiot for not realizing that. You can use Ivy to get up to high areas, Bullet to dash through the air, Avatar to send out a bunch of clones to take some hits for you and get an attack in on a boss. That last ability has proven to be extremely useful as the bosses and stages in this game really ramp up in difficulty by the end. And you would really be doing yourself a favor if you know how to use the powers to your own advantage to make the bosses all the more easier. These powers are at your disposal for a reason, use them. And I feel like I have to mention Trip because, oh my god, she's precious. Like, Fang, my guy, she didn't even do anything wrong. Cut it out! Also, I love that Fang has a presence in this game, but holy shit, his boss battle can suck a fat nut. Long and tedious auto-scroller that you'll have to redo, not if, but when you die. I had to walk away from this for a hot minute. But we all speculated that Trip would be an unlockable 5th character, and yeah, isn't that a shocker? Her ability is basically the Spikes Wisp for an unlimited amount of time, and you know what? I'm cool with this. These levels can be pretty vertical, and her ability comes in handy the second you start playing as her, so I would say it's pretty unique. I guess while I am talking about the other characters, I really like how the main campaign has stages for each character to shine. Almost like a test run if you want to switch to the other characters if you've only been playing as Sonic. Which was me, I was only playing as Sonic. Tails' flying comes in clutch as always, Knuckles has a classic climb and glide, and Amy is once again playable this year. This is her year, man. I would comment on the multiplayer, if I could. Yeah, I haven't gotten a good chance to play the multiplayer yet. I'm just so busy being, the only person in my friend group that likes Sonic. And then there's the extras. Of course, Time Attack returns, as well as the previously mentioned coins that you can find and collect from the Blue Ring special stages, as well as the Sonic 1 style bonus stages. But there's also a new battle mode, which can be played offline or online. This battle mode is kind of what I was expecting, but also what I've been wanting from a battle mode out of a Sonic game. I've been into it the moment that we got to see it, and you know what? I enjoyed it. I haven't spent a crazy amount of time with it yet, but, you know, probably neither has anyone else. You jump into a lobby where you go through a couple rounds of doing different tasks to earn the most points. Doing challenges like racing to the end, collecting the most stars is what it looks like, and surviving to the death. Plus, it's just really cute to customize your little robot buddy. Also, can I just talk about how nice these character models look in the game? As well as how nice some of their animations are, which of course brings me to the cute in-game cutscenes as well as the nice animated ones. Not to mention this skin for Sonic, which is literally his beta design as Feels the Rabbit, or the collaboration that they did with these cool Lego skins, or these comic book skins, which they were on the Steam store for like 2 minutes and then haven't came back since. Katie, please, heed my words. I don't want to buy Kroger points. This game has a nice amount of charm, and honestly, that's as much as I would want from a modern-day classic Sonic adventure. It's nothing too wild, but it's a nice little side game that could potentially start a side series of 2D Sonic games to fill the time between 3D titles, a la in the same vein as Sonic Advance or Sonic Rush. I would actually be all for it if 2D Sonic and 3D Sonic would thrive in a way where Sonic Team spends all their time on the open zones, and RZS pumps out multiple 2D games in that time to hold us over. Though with that being said, I wouldn't need something to hold me over, thanks to Mario Wonder. That was one of the transitions of all time. This game, oh man, this game. It really exceeded any expectations I could have had, which I can only assume that's why the tagline of this game is to expect the unexpected. Because, yeah, I didn't expect most of the things that happened in this game. I didn't expect the 2D Mario game to provide some genuinely challenging trials. Didn't expect Bowser's ultimate plan to just go on Broadway. Didn't expect that Metal Mario would finally have a canonical appearance in a mainline game again. Didn't expect piranha plants to grace this world with their angelic voices, and then King Boo would do the same with his opera house style song. Like, I could go on, honestly. I know the first playthrough of a video game will always be more special than subsequent ones afterwards, but a game like Mario Wonder really excels at that. This first playthrough of Mario Wonder will be triumphantly more special than any playthrough afterwards. The fact that every level in this game has brand new themes, brand new enemies in this brand new location. Every level is ready to throw something at you that you may or may not expect, and even if you do expect it, it's done in a really fun way. Every level has a gimmick that isn't that intrusive, and even if it is for you, you can literally skip out on it and just continue with the level. And can I just say how much I love the level theming in this game? Just like Sonic Superstars, it's the traditional level themes that Mario games usually have, like grass, sand, clouds, but amped up with creativity. The Flower Kingdom is a great location that takes us away from the Mushroom Kingdom, but offers these locations that we know and are familiar with in a brand new refreshing setting with new twists. It's the same way that Mario Odyssey did it. I loved it there, and now I love it here. Like, for example, the desert stages transition from the vast, empty, waterless desert to ancient temples with a beautiful evening to nighttime shift in the sky. Or how about how gorgeous the poison in the fungi mines look? Yes, I have to agree with the majority, the fungi mines is probably the best world in the game. But to be fair, every level, I would say, even starting from World 1, is pretty goated, though I would say World 4 and beyond has some of the heavy hitters. All these worlds surround the Petal Isles, which is kind of a world in itself, but kind of not. It has levels in it, but it's kind of a unique take on having a central main area, since you can always see Bowser at any given point right in the center of it. He's just floating there, ominously, getting ready for his epic wonder. And again, do I have to mention that Bowser's goal in this game is just to put out the best musical performance on Broadway that you've ever seen? Like, the Peaches song was just hinting at Bowser's true intentions for this decade. He is done with Peach, bro. Bowser just wants to drop a sick beat. He would be best friends with DJ Octavio. I absolutely love the build-up to these last few levels in Bowser's area with this black and green aesthetic. It's just so aesthetically pleasing to look at. Like, the graphics in this game are so beautiful. And I love that Bowser still keeps his rocking attitude with his background music, just like from 3D World. This even carries over into these airship levels, which, wait, is that a remix of the airship theme from Mario Bros. 1, but specifically the one they made for Mario Maker? That is so cool! And then when you collect the Wonder Flower, it turns into a remix of the Mario Bros. 1 ground theme? Oh, what? That's incredible! There is just so much creativity bursting at the seams all over this game. Like, look at how cute the models are for the characters, and these bouncy animations. Just, don't pause in between the elephant transformation. Yeah, that's a certified wowie zowie moment. And let's talk about the power-ups for a second, because this has to be one of the best lineup of power-ups in a Mario game. I was a bit skeptical of the elephant form at first. I'm more used to seeing Mario in animal suits, not actually turning into the animal. but I guess that's the Mushroom Kingdom law. I don't know, I don't make the rules. But the elephant form is actually pretty versatile. You have a nice 3-hit combo, so it's the best power-up for attacks, but you can also use your trunk to store water and spray it on flowers for extra goodies. Sometimes the goodie might be one of the 3 10 flower coins. The bubble power has to be my favorite out of the 3 though. Not only do enemies fear death itself as the bubble drifts towards them and obliterates them, but of course you can bounce off of these bubbles, which I've seen to be useful for speedrunning, so that's something I'm gonna try out. And lastly, the drill mushroom. Firstly, the colors look sick. I mean, this color palette alone is awesome. And secondly, you can drill. Yeah, that's obvious, but it is really satisfying that you can just burrow into the floor or into the ceiling and dodge enemies that way. This of course does give major nostalgia to the drill item from Mario Galaxy 2. There's actually a fair amount of references to past Mario games, which as a Mario fanboy, I'm all for it. On the topic of Galaxy 2, there's this cool Wonder Flower section with this dragon that looks very similar to Gobblegut. Or how about these quick mini levels that play classic songs like the Mario 3 Hammer Bro music, or the Mario World bonus house, or the Mario Sunshine secret stage? Like, come on, man! There's these races against Wiggler, which are super fun, and to me personally give off Mario Odyssey energy with the Koopa freerunning. And then there's this Coins Galore stage, which uses the Mario 64 slider theme, as well as the Talking Flowers adding some background vocals. Oh yeah! They are amazing. I actually kind of enjoyed having the Talking Flowers on throughout the entire journey, mostly because they say some out-of-pocket things sometimes. Like how often they talk about being hungry and, delicious! Did you just slurp me? I think something that all of us have agreed on is the lack of bosses in Mario Wonder though. Like, it's funny how the one game that the Koopalings were omitted from now kinda need them or would have benefited from them with, you know, the crazy wonder effects affecting each Koopaling having some crazy new moves. There's only Bowser Jr., which I guess is kind of reminiscent of the first New Super Mario Bros. Game, but aside from that, you only fight him 4 times, with occasionally going into an airship, and I think this section kind of replicates the traditional Mario vs. Bowser and getting to the other side to hit the switch. And you know what? I would honestly really appreciate it if for Sonic Superstars we could give some of our bosses to Mario Bros. Wonder. There's far too many bosses in Superstars. There's just so much charm, so many boundaries that Mario Wonder breaks from the new Super Mario Bros. Series. Like, the first thing you see is just how many characters you can play as. Not only is it the most playable characters in a 2D Mario game, but they basically brought everyone that's been playable before. Yeah, that includes Daisy, cause she was playable in Super Mario Run. To anyone who remembers when they added her to the game. Of course, I do love having Yoshis here playable on their own, but I do have to agree that it does kind of suck that they can't use the power-ups, or if they could at least take damage instead of being easy mode. Even if they could maybe shoot eggs Yoshi's Island style, that could maybe give a good reason to swap to the Yoshis more. But with that being said, what's the point of playing as Nabbit? His whole thing in New Super Luigi U was being the easy mode, but Yoshi has extra moves, so why would you choose Nabbit? I know none of the characters have distinct traits like Mario Run or moves like in 3D World, but I think they make up for that with the badge system. There's 3 types of badges, with most of them changing up how you can play the game. You can add more moves to your character like a parachute cap for a slow glide, which is kind of like any of the other gliding abilities from any of the past 2D Mario games, a crouching high jump like the one from Mario Bros. 2, a floating jump like from New Super Luigi U, a grappling vine, like bro, these are so cool! There's some useful ones like starting each level with an automatic power-up, and ones that are wild, like always bouncing, being invisible. It's a bit weird, and I think that's what they were going with, so they succeeded. And of course, collecting everything in the game is a treat. Getting all the badges, all the 10 coins, all the standees. Drill Daisy? Yeah, that was the plan. These criterias result in special world stages, which I absolutely love the difficulty of them. I really just can't stop gushing about this game. Like I said, they really want you to expect the unexpected, and I think they nailed it. Even with the main gimmick of the Wonder Flowers alone, from becoming a balloon, moving as a slime, a stampede of enemies, a top-down perspective, new ideas are always being thrown back to back to back, especially with those final levels like Bowser's final boss or the final marathon of the Wonder Flower. It just shows how much creativity, life, and passion they put into this game, especially when this game had no deadline. They just gave the developers free range to experiment with so many ideas. But regardless, both Mario Wonder and Sonic Superstars have had their own successes. Yes, obviously, as big of a Sonic fan as I am, and as much as I enjoyed Superstars, of course I'm going to agree that Mario Wonder is the better game of the two if I were to compare them. But I'm not comparing them, I just love them both. It's great being a fan of both Mario and Sonic. You should try it, you might like it. But I just couldn't be in a happier state than where we are right now with these two franchises. Both games offer a twist on the simple fun that we expect and the fluid gameplay that offers replayability. As a hardcore fan of Mario and Sonic, damn, we ate so good. I'm full. I wonder what's next on the menu. Oh, right, there's like 4 more Mario games coming out this year with a rumored Sonic game. Wow, my wallet's in actual pain and suffering.